Hi there, this is Jimmy Page. And on TVK, you're watching Masa Ito's Rock City.
1枚目のアルバムは、30時間くらいで作ったんですね。もうほぼ一発撮りだったんですよ。だから別テイクとかね、別ミックスって存在してない。だから1969年10月のパリのライブがコンパニオンディスクに入ってる。でジミー・ペイジ言ってました。やっぱりね、セカンドアルバム以降レッド・ゼッペリンがいかにしてレコーディングしたのか、そのプロセスが分かるのが2枚目以降のコンパニオンディスクだということを言っていました。はい。さあどんな作品が出たのか、そしてどんな苦労があったのか、レッド・ゼッペリンのジミー・ペイジのインタビューをたっぷりとご覧ください。最後にもうライブやりたいということをおっしゃってましたよね。そういう構想は実はあるんですか？
Well, people have been asking me personally, you know, when are you going to play? And I said, well, I've been doing all things musical without actually playing the guitar or be seen to be playing the guitar live, because these projects, the Celebration Day, and certainly all of this, because it's not just the fact of remastering the albums, it's a question of doing these accompanying discs, these companion discs properly, or the way that I would want to see it to be done, so that the fans can really sort of just get so much out of it, so much more than what there is already there. It was so important to do this. So now that, I mean, all of the sonic side of everything has been finished it was finished almost by the end of last year, and it will give me time to start playing properly to the standard that, you know, it has to be. And so, yeah, I hope to be playing.
実はあなたはずっと曲作りをしているということで新曲も随分溜まってるんじゃないかと思うんですよ、あなた自身の。それはどうするつもりなんでしょうか？
Yes, I've got material that I've written a little way in the past, and then things that I've written more recently. But it doesn't matter to me. You see, I've only had one solo album, and that was in 1988. But I'm not, you know, I'm not greedy about making music. All I need to do is I knew with all the material that I had, the time to record it was when you're actually going to put it out and then play live concerts. There's no point in recording, because I know the material I have can be recorded at any time. And in any sort of style. That's the way that the music that I write is.
今回のこの3枚のアルバムの、こういう形で出そうと思ったのは2007年の大津アリーナ以降のことですか？あるいはその以前からこういうものを出そうと思って考えていたんでしょうか？
No, I thought about doing a project very similar to this at the time when the Led Zeppelin DVD came out. So that's years ago, and nobody could understand it. It was slightly different to this, and there wouldn't have been so many releases. But with the opportunity of doing the re-releases and remastered studio albums, I thought, well, this is a chance to be able to do what has been done, really. But it was a long, long journey, very, very long. And I knew that if I started it, I couldn't stop. I can't stop halfway through. I've got to do it all. So no, I could see the whole length of the journey that it needed, but also I knew it was going to take a long time and a lot of work to listen to all these tapes and make notes and then compare, have a short list of the versions, and then I think it's, you know, I know that it's right for the fans. That's what I do know.
こういうことができたのも、それはレッド・ゼッペリンが自分たちのマスターライツを持っていて、レコード会社ではなく現場をきっちり管理してたからだと思うんですね。1960年代末にどうしてそういうふうなアイデアが出てきたんでしょう？
Basically, well, you see, I was the producer of the band. So when we'd do a track, I would have my reference mix down of the night, and I would take it home. There'd be some guitars that maybe would go. So say one track that we have, then there would be some guitars that would go on, and then that track may be taken home by Robert so he could work on his vocals and finesse his ideas. And then he would put on his vocals, and then there'd be maybe there'd be another bass overdubbed, you know, maybe John Paul Jones. The drums would always stay. That's what we'd be working from. Sometimes the bass might get replaced, but then the vocals would start to build up, and then I would put on guitars right at the very end, like the solos, and they would be mixed down. All of these stages, I would have, as the producer, I would have these reference mix. The only thing about it is that everything has the same title, each tape, with a side, and so I couldn't remember which is which because they don't have the dates on either, most of them. So everything had to be listened to, and then notes and notes and notes, and then it comes down to which is going to be the best one to give people the best insight to the one that they know and love. And so that was it. That was the sort of that was the game plan. So I actually had my own and Led Zeppelin has its storage as well. Well, the thing is that with the first Led Zeppelin album, it was actually paid for in advance. You know, it was the money was funded basically by myself. I think John Paul Jones put some money in as well, and maybe Peter Grant, but because it was myself and Peter Grant, you see. So it was unusual because we had our album, and then we went to Mo Austin at Reprise on the West Coast, but really the idea was to go with Atlantic because I already had connections with somebody called Burt Burns, who was a producer, and I'd met Jerry Wetzler in New York before. This is way before Led Zeppelin, but they were always keen. They wanted me to move to New York on my own when I was a studio musician, but I don't want to do that. I'm pleased I didn't, because then there would be no Led Zeppelin.
ファーストのそのコンパニオンディスクにはパリのオリンピアのライブ入ってますけども、ファーストは急いで作ったはずなんです。それでも別バージョンのスタジオバージョンを発見できたんですか？
It's over a few days. You must remember, in these days, we weren't like the Led Zeppelin of 1 year later. This is, we're going in under a sort of camouflage of New Yardbirds and this sort of thing, you know. So we were just being able to get a bit of studio time on this day here, and then a few days later we get a bit of studio time there. In all, it comes out, when it's all added up, it comes to maybe it's 30 hours, 30-something hours, but it does span a few days, maybe 5 days of recording and the mixing. There was nothing left over, you see. There was no. Everything was going like that. You know, we didn't have the luxury, if you like, to be able to have time on our hands. I mean, everything was being done very, very efficiently.
They're not outtakes.
Oh no, not really. No, not really. No.
セカンドアルバムはツアー中にいろんなスタジオを使ってレコーディングしてますから、そういう意味ではセカンドアルバムはいろんなバージョンがあったと思いますが、どうでしょう？
Well, the first three tracks, there's 3 tracks that we did in London, maybe over a 2-day period, and that the two that we all know is Whole Lot of Love and What Is and What Should Never Be, and then there is this track La La that Robert didn't have any singing to it, and John Paul Jones had an idea for a melody and blah blah blah, and that La La is on the companion disc. But from that point, then we start going to America and we start recording in Mirror Sound, where Richie Valens had recorded in the 50s, and we also did a bit at the Atlantic studio right near the end. We'd bring it on home. We would touring in America, and we were adding overdubs onto A Whole Lot of Love, and you know, this whole thing was going on. We came back to England for a bit and we recorded Thank You and Living Loving Maid. And then we go back to America again and put the overdubs on Living Loving Maid, all the guitar solos and the vocals. And then finally, these things are mixed in New York with Eddie Kramer. So that one is, yeah, it's moving around. It has the energy of a live tour, if you like. It's got all of that energy. We're really on top of it. But nevertheless, it must be said that we go in to start that album with Whole Lot of Love and What Is and What Should Never Be, which, I mean, it's very, very, you can see how strong the attitude was, and the whole resolve, if you like, to recording was taken very, very seriously.
2のコンパニオンディスクに入っているホロロットラブのバージョンね、素晴らしいバージョンなんですけども、振り返ってあのバージョンについてどう思いますか？
Well, I think it's absolutely wonderful because it shows, I think all of these things do, but certainly the way that you heard it today coming in after, at the point that it comes in, is so urgent, and you can hear, well, first of all, when you hear it, you hear the vocal, and it's sort of similar. And then in comes the chorus, but there isn't a chorus. And automatically it's almost like a surreal sort of painting, but now it's a surreal audio. And it's just, what's so undeniable is it's the performance. This is what's captured on all of these things, is the performance of us playing. Robert is singing a live vocal on that. And it's just fantastic stuff. There's, you know, you hear the chorus coming along and there is no chorus, but there's just like this voodoo rhythm going, and it's like really urgent, disturbing. It's disturbing, it's good.